Hello everyone and welcome to Boland's Woodworks. I had already went through the intro and started cutting on this thing before I realized I didn't hit record. So I'll do it all again. Hello everyone and welcome to Boland's Woodworks. I got an order for a black walnut bowl, so that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you guys how I make the walnut bowls that I sell on Etsy. This wood was actually provided to me by a pretty good buddy that had a very large black walnut tree get washed up on his property, and he said if we wanted it, all we had to do was come down, cut it, and throw it in the back of the truck. So that's what we did. So a big shout out to him for making this video possible. You can tell looking at the green here that this is actually going to turn out into a beautiful bowl. So I'm just going to run through some tools and equipment that you can use to make this a little bit easier for you. First thing is going to be a center finder. This is a 10-inch center finder. So basically what you're going to do, if you don't know the exact dimension, if you're just doing it at random, all you're going to do is just find a line that corresponds on each end closest to the very edge of that piece. And it looks to me like the 3.5 inch dotted line here corresponds the best. So that is the center of our block. Or if you've got a big blank and you're trying to cut out a specific measurement, you can just use it as a protractor. You just center it up on there, and then say if you want to make a 4-inch bowl, come out to the 4-inch, and then you just stick your pencil in there and you just mark all the way around. Next is going to be one of these doohickeys. And basically what this is you drill a hole in the end of your piece, and then that threads into that hole, and it holds it securely in the chuck. I like using this right here to, on the end that I'm actually going to hollow out, just drill that hole in there, thread that in, and that locks into your chuck, so it's not going anywhere while you're working. You can use a face plate, or you can cut a little grip into the wood for your chuck to grab onto and just tighten your chuck onto that. But this is the method that I like to use. It's a little bit easier, and you know you're putting it right in the perfect center of that piece, so you're not risking getting any screws into the outer edge of the piece that you're trying to get out of there. Next is going to be your lathe. I would love to say that, you know, I'm just doing this for on a budget video, and that, you know, I'm just using my small lathe for this one, but no, this is the only lathe I have. This is a Central Machinery 10x18. I got this 4 or 5 years ago, and it was $200 back then. I believe they do still carry these at Harbor Freight, and they're about around $250 now, I think, somewhere in that area. I'm not sure. You guys can take a look at Harbor Freight. They might still have them on Amazon, I don't know. But yeah, I won't bore you guys any longer. We'll just go ahead and start cutting some meat off of this thing, and you guys just sit back and enjoy. I went ahead and cleaned up a little bit off camera before it got too crazy, but we'll go ahead and take off our blank and get our little doohickey out. I know earlier in the video there I said one of these doohickeys, and this is what I'm talking about. This is a screw chuck, and you just drill your hole in the middle there and it threads into that hole, and you can see it kind of tapers there a little bit, and this chuck has a groove in it that fits into perfectly so that you get it in there perfectly straight. But we'll go ahead and get this thing turned around. You can see here at the bottom I created a little grip for that chuck to grab onto. Make sure we get it nice and centered up there. One tip to doing this whenever you're putting a bowl or something like that on a chuck that you've already sort of cut that grip into, you can pull your tailstock up without really tightening your chuck down yet, and you can tighten down that tailstock and it'll help push it and make it flush in there. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but in this case it looks like it pretty much got in there flush. We'll go ahead and tighten that down really good. Looks a little bit off. Okay. All right. If I can get my tool rest around here. All right, now what we're going to do, we're going to get started hollowing this thing out. I'm going to start at the front of it here and get about where I feel like the edge should be, and then we'll finalize the shape of the outside there, and then we'll flush that bottom back up if we need to. Looks like we might, but let's do it. All right, got it finished up, got it sanded, and it's time to start coating. You can see that grain there. I think that's going to look really nice once that finish starts hitting it. But the customer that ordered this did want a gloss coating that was food safe, so for that we're going to use Minwax polyacrylic. This is a water-based gloss coating. Takes about 3 hours to harden to the point where you can start touching it, but you do want to give it about 24 hours before you give it any kind of real use. And it is white whenever you apply it, but it turns clear into a really nice clear gloss coating once it's fully cured. So if you're putting thicker coats on something like this, and some of it's going to pull in the bottom, and you come back after a few hours and you look and it's still got a foggy kind of hue to it, that means it's not fully cured. So you do want to give it some time before you come back and start trying to put other coats on it, because if there's any moisture underneath of it, it's going to wrinkle up and crack, and it's just not going to look good. But this is I've had pretty good luck out of this. It's pretty thin. It does run a lot more than polyurethane or something like that would, but I do recommend this, especially for anything food related. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. I think after about 3 coats, we'll be good to go, and we can get it out to the buyer. Let's do it. And there you have it, the finished product. Why is wood so pretty? That walnut's such a beautiful wood. It's not perfect, but it is beautiful, just like anything else in this world. And with practice and self-confidence, this is something that you can do yourself. You can probably do it better than this, but this is what I like to do. I came up with this shape and this size on my own, even down to the clear coat that I decided to use. This is all my method that I like to use, and this is what I sell on our Etsy site. But there's thousands of ways you can do this. You know, this is just showing you one way that you can. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're also on Facebook, Boland's Woodworks, and we also sell all of our products on Etsy. And I'll put a link in the description with a promo code so that you guys can get a good discount on it. But yeah, thank you guys for coming along with me, and I'll see you in the next video.